And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 123. Back. We're here, we are back, and we have another PvZ ready for you here. Now we have two teammates joining and facing off. Let's go. Only one can advance on, only one can make it through into the semis. Let's find out which one. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the Red Protoss player. The Red Protoss himself, representing Team Stanley Bulls, it is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player. The Blue Zerg player himself, his teammates, also representing Stanley Bulls, it is YoungYakov. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping on into our fresh series, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gambit time. It's Gambit time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you delve into our PvZ. Coming into this, it's a harder one to call. In the previous matchups in every series so far, there has been a clear favorite player. Here, I would say that the lines are more blurred. In recent times, I want to say that YoungYakov has had some slightly better results over Shameless, but only slightly. Like, again, I can see this going to the ace match, or again, it comes down to who is feeling better on the day, who's more informed, who's more warmed up. We'll see what we bring to the table here between both Yakov and Shameless. Again, they are new teammates. Not just that, but they have kind of boot camped together in the past. If you recall, infamously, was it last year or the year before that, where there was like a big boot camp and we had like Yakov and GG Machine and Death Mars and all these other sorry, who else am I thinking of? GG Machine, YoungYakov, Death Mars, and like 3 or 4 other players that all kind of like met up together and like they boot camped the hell out of it. And did play a lot of StarCraft and of course practice and improve together. So again, there's like that camaraderie between them that they had already for quite some time, and I'm curious to see if they even practice together. Like, bearing in mind they're also playing in the Woody ZvP team league, so they are playing together in a team league. They're also preparing for their upcoming matches as well. So there's always a lot of like mind games, a lot of metagaming that goes on between two players that face off so often and so much against each other. But let's go. Let us go for now. Stargate open out of Shameless, opening up Standard, opening up Normal, and welcome one and all to Title Citadel. Title Citadel is a larger map of the map pool. It does have some unique features like the gold expansion, does have some very narrow entryways here in the center of the map. We have the Zelnaga Tower as well. More importantly, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th base are very spread out. I'm referring to this location here, bottom left, center right, and center base as well. They're all very spread out, and as the game progresses, it can become very difficult to rotate your defensive army to keep up with the aggressive army of your opponent and to keep up with their rotations and their movement. It can be very difficult. So we have seen a lot of very chaotic games here on Title Citadel as a result of that. The map is large, true, but again, there's also a lot of space in between these bases, a lot of potential to punish. For now, we are going to be opening up. As we do have YoungYakov moving, it does catch in short eps. Okay, gets one. Does catch one. I don't see him getting the other though. That's one that falls at the same time. Oracle does go for the dive. The Spore isn't quite done though. Yeah, Spore isn't done. Getting 1, 2, 3 drone kills. Can we get 4? Barely not. So far, not a bad start here from Shameless, but the Oracle does sustain a lot of hits. Let's take a lot of hull damage. Has to blow away. 3rd is now being taken, and we have a very fast lair out of Yakov. Also a 4:15 lair timing. With a fast lair, this can lead into early Hydra all-in. This can lead into Muta play as well. Hydra on Yakov. Oh, as the Oracle does barely get away. Once again on 3 HP. Barely gets out. As the Oracle goes back in. Goes back in, does 9 more spores. Only dies, no kills. Still in just 3 drone kills from the start. Do you have a standard follow-up here? Forge, Pilot Council, +1 on Blink, most likely on the way. Most likely. So from here we're calming down. Ooh, meanwhile, YoungYakov, as he's distracted, the Adepts, they do hit the third. Lings are in position. So that's so good. Keeping up with the Adepts. Nice moves at Yakov. He's secure on 3 bases, taking his gases. Now we have the answer here. I was curious, was it going to be Hydras or Mutas? ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? Hydra has been thrown down in the main base. Spire gets thrown down in the natural. There's a cancellation here on the Roach Horn. Okay, does cancel. This is very tech heavy, very gas intensive, of course. And we'll see if he gets away with an unscouted Spire. So far, I believe, unscouted. So once again, the Oracles are going to be forced back. Still very low on HP. Lings a counterattack, keeping Shameless busy. Not quite catching the Gas Geyser. Not quite. Lings just poking in. Once again, just keeping the attention away from the bases. And the Spire's almost done. Again, unscouted. Did Shameless see the Hydra? He did. Ooh, he saw the Hydra Den. Okay, so I mean, what I will say though is that unlike previously, the previous opponents in the earlier round, unlike Ledlix, Shameless has Blink, right? Blink is going to finish, so he'll have more anti-air. Pushing forward, we have Mutas on the way, and no Hydras. It's going to be a tough hold here for Yakov. Very tough hold. Lings, they try to collapse in. They're buying time for more Zerglings. Shameless gaining ground. Nice kiting, very nice stasis. Yeah, stasis goes off. And Yakov, he's looking very desperate here. I don't see Mutas helping too much. He dives in. Gets one, gets 2 queens. Yeah, 2 queens go down, and defensive Mutas. What can they do, Batty, on their own? Army does make away, and more Stalkers warping in. There are just so many Stalkers. It's an AK. Yeah, he's got AK ways. You can see here, no gas mining. 3 base all in. Yeah, 3 base all in at a Shameless. Basically, the gases here were fake. He committed. Yakov thought there was macro. There was no macro. The boys are being pulled, and Shameless, he has broken his opponent. Mutas, they get some damage done across the map. That's nice. They're killing some probes. At the same time, though, the main army cannot be dealt with. Like, this army cannot be dealt with. Shameless commits. Again, for those that are curious, the gases were never really saturated. It was a 3 base all in here by Shameless. Yakov, he thought it was safe. He thought his opponent was macroing. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we spoke about this in the previous series, but going into Mutas is a very risky thing to do. You are vulnerable when you go into Mutas, and Shameless didn't even scout, by the way. He didn't even know that Mutas were coming, but he just happened to be going for his own H-gate. He was going for his own 3 base all-in, which happened to be going up against Muta play, so almost a hard counter in favor of Shameless, pushing in and recognizing and finding out, oh, you have no army. Like, you're making Mutas. That does nothing here. Like, Mutas are not built to defend. They're not built to survive against these all-ins. GG, well played. Shameless takes game number 1. Yakov, he took a risk. He took a risk going into the Mutas. It did not pay off. He gambled, papi. Did gamble. And now we're loading into game number 2. Just catching with chat. Nice there, Raul. Okay. Ay. Thank you for sharing, Raul. La mutas. As we're just waiting for our players to pick their maps. Shouldn't be too long, as we already have our first semi-finalist. Oh my god, I guess we have a little bit of time here. But Creator, he did just take down Nickrak 2-0, and he's waiting in the lower semi-finals, waiting for the winner of Percival and Geralt. So we already have 1 semi-finalist. Crazy. It looks like the upper portion of the bracket is a little bit more delayed. It's a little bit more delayed. There's some longer games going on there. So most likely we'll be wrapping up this series and then heading down to the lower portion of the bracket. Most likely. Nice. Bienvenidos in the chat. Bienvenidos. Buenos días. Here we go. As game 2 is going to be on White Rabbit. White Rabbit is another one of these larger maps. Okay, larger map in the map pool, larger than, say, Tato Citadel. I would say more defendable as well. So, again, this is more ideal for a longer game state. But Yakov isn't really the kind of player that enjoys long late game ZvP. If he can all in, he will. If he can be cheeky with muta play, he will as well. And I wouldn't be opposed to mutas here in game 2 on White Rabbit, but I am opposed to going mutas two games in a row. Like so that's what I'm a little bit concerned about. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the red Protoss player leading the series 1-0, representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have his teammate. We have the blue Zerg player also representing Stowny Balls. It is YoungYakov. Again, attempting and failing to go mutas in that last game. He committed, he was being cheeky, and he was shut down by a 3-base all-in. Meanwhile, Yakov, he moves out across the map, this time opening up with a hatch block. Let's go! Drone does move out. The goal here is to go for the hatchery here to disrupt the opener and to delay the economy of the Protoss. We'll see how Shameless reacts and how he responds. There's two reactions, there's two responses. One is to pull the boys and to focus it down and get one Zealot. The other response is to get a second gateway, open up double Zealot into double Adept. In general, I think the consensus is that the 2-gate response is a little bit cleaner. It does mean that you sustain less economic damage and you're able to counterattack as well. But we'll see. As here comes that proxy, here comes the hatch block. Shamelessly does go for the initial gateway into Cybercore. Zealot is on the way, and he doesn't pull the boys. So far, so good. In general, I would say that if you see a Protoss player pull workers to deal with this, it's often a bad thing, just because it takes, was it like 7 probes to focus this down, and it's just so much economic damage, so much inadvertent damage because you're losing so much mining time. Here we have 4 probes. We have 4 probes and the Zealots to focus on that base. You can see Shameless going for the proxy Stargate reaction. Okay, Cybercore is done. Show us the Stargates. We're juiced up. We're getting juiced. Now, this is a risky reaction here. My assumption it's going to be Stargate. If it is, the problem with going proxy Stargate is that if this gets scouted, if this gets found, it is brutal. As there it is, Stargate has been thrown down. Just because in this matchup, if you know anything about PvZ, you know that Stargate and Oracle play is it's like the bread and butter, right? It's like the backbone of PvZ, to be able to scout and defend and react and counterattack. The utility that the Oracles provide is huge. So if you lose power of your Stargate early on, like, that throws your builds out the window if it gets scouted. As the drone is shut down, Adept does keep YoungYakov busy. So far, getting 1, getting 2. No real economic damage, but here it's all about distracting, right? This is what this Adept is doing here is it's keeping the Lings busy, keeping the Lings not scouting. So Zerglings are busy back at home. You can see 1 Zergling peels towards the left-hand side. 1 Zergling does slip out. Remember, there are no spores ready for this, and the Oracle is coming. He's coming, Pappy. The Overlord does not see this. Spores still on the way. Queens are somewhat in position. We're going for the dive again. Going into the mineral line, getting 1, 2, 3 drone kills so far. Yeah, getting into 4 drones. Nice snipe. Oh, the Oracle will go down. 1 more shot. Oh, does fall. Big pick up here. 1 Oracle does get sniped, but we have another Oracle on the way, and that's still going to be 5 dead workers here early on. Yeah, 5 dead drones. No third expansion. Was that worth it? As Yakov, he now finds the Oracle, he finds the Stargate. And this is what we spoke about. Yeah, Shameless, he commits. Dives into the natural, sustains a little hull damage. Stargate is going to go down, and that means that Shameless is going to be stuck with 1 Oracle in the mid game. Oof. As opposed to if the Stargate was back at home, he'd have 3. So this means limited scouting, just limited utility here. As he's down to 1 Oracle and only 1. Oh, okay. I mean, you know, how better to make use of this position here? Just commit into a 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in here from Shameless. No expansion in sights. A very chaotic mid-game. Yakov had a late 3rd. Shameless has a non-existent 3rd base. Throws down 3 more gateways, going for a big gateway explosion, building up to 6 gates. Oh my god. 2-base, 6-gate glaive adepts. That's a lot of adepts. It's going to hit hard. Now, Yakov should know that something is wrong. What does he see? Doesn't see the main, but seeing the lack of 3rd expansion is a tell. And he's checking. You can see here, he's checking. Still no 3rd expansion. That should ring some alarm bells. We have our safety Roach Warren. Yakov is double expanding. And we'll see if he can keep up. Likewise, he's trying to get eyes on any adepts. You can see they're being hidden here behind the wall. They're not being revealed. For all he knows, it could be Dark Templar, right? It could be DTs, could be Charge, could be Adepts. Could be like 2 more Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. Okay. And here they come. He gets scattered. Okay, he does get scattered. He knows. We have 8 Roaches on the way. Yakov is getting ready. You can see the drone is in position to fully wall off. A nice setup here by Yakov. He's ready with the drone. Is it going to be enough? Shameless is supply blocked. Oh, that's brutal. I was like, he's only warping in 4 adepts out of 6. He is supply blocked here. So is YoungYakov. Everyone's supply blocked. So Shameless is lacking those warp-ins. Takes down 1 expansion. That's nice, but we need more damage. Shameless does rotate. Adepts in towards the 3rd. Likewise into the main. Catching out drones. Getting 5 drone kills in total, not bad. This is okay damage. But again, Shameless needs more. Remember, he's still on 2 bases. Like, there's still no expansion. There's no longevity here for Shameless. The longer this goes on, the better it is for YoungYakov. And this is taking too long. It's taking a little bit too long here. We need a little bit more urgency out of Shameless, but it might just be too late. There are just so many Roaches. Yeah, so many Roaches have built up. Now, there should be 2. Okay, there's going to be 2 Immortals. It's going to be like a Soul Train-esque follow-up all-in with Sentries, Force Fields, and Immortals. There's going to be 3 Immortals here for Shameless. Yakov is droning. This is a good thing for Shameless. If Yakov drones up too much, and if he double expands and gets like a 4th and a 5th expansion, and even now he's investing in resources here into Hydra production and now a Balian Nest as well. Shameless has a chance, but it's a slim one. Here he comes. We're missing an... There we go. He's got all 3 Immortals. I believe there are 0 Ravagers, but 4 Ravagers just now morphing in. As I mentioned, killing the space doesn't really matter as much. It's not about the base, it's about the game. It's about winning the game here and now. Shameless commits in. Initial piles lose zone away. Oof, 1 bar connects. So let's go for the Guardian Shield. Force Fields will lock down a handful of Roaches. Tarzanite Ravager, a rough move command there out of those Roaches. Bailey's here to crash in. We get some okay connections, and oh god! As we do have a little bit of latency here, hopefully everything's okay. The boys are being pulled. Yakov are getting desperate. Yeah, the Force Fields are crazy here. Not enough Ravager Vials. Yeah, not enough Vials here. 1 Immortal goes down. There's 2 Immortals left. He's going for the dive. He gets 1 more. He wants him. No, he doesn't get it. Yeah, the Immortal barely gets sniped. There's 1 Immortal left. We need more reinforcements. Shameless is running out of steam. Looks like he does take over the expansion, though, just barely. with the power of one immortal. Does he have enough? Oh my god, it's still getting quite close here, but it looks like there are enough reinforcements. Yakov goes to the vials. Barely doesn't find the warp in. Prism pulls away, but there's no support. Yeah, there's no support. The final immortal falls. Yakov barely does survive. He barely does hold on. And then Yakov shuts down the all-in. Shuts down the all-in. Papi GG gets called. The all-in fails, and YoungYakov ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Yakov does tie the series up here. Again, Shameless, it was just a really brutal position to be in, to go into 6 gate glaive ups but be supply blocked and not do enough damage. He denied a base and he killed a handful of drones. It was like 5 drone kills. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not going 6 gate 2 base all in. So in the end, again, he just did not have enough to sustain his army. He eventually went into his follow-up all in with 3 immortals. And I mean, again, he still traded quite well. He still killed 19 drones, but he barely didn't have enough. He didn't have enough reinforcements, and likewise, he didn't do the best job sustaining and keeping those immortals alive. He lost the first one quite quickly. Losing that first immortal, GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3, getting into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Horrible times of lag. I think the lag was only for us casting. I don't think it affected the players, thankfully. But we're getting ready here for the ace match. And again, no surprises here that we're going to the ace match. As we mentioned, like, there's a very, very high chance for these 2 players to make it all the way to game 3. And how the story ends, it's hard to say. Hard to say. Let's go. So we're getting ready here into that final game. Looks like the other matches are still ongoing. Still ongoing. Looks like we just need a moment. Un momento. Nope. And game 3 is going to be on the Old Republic. Oh boy, we can see more aggression here. We can see more aggression happening here. As the Old Republic does have a relatively secure 3-base setup. I mean, the 3rd base is relatively open, but the 4th base is much more exposed. We can see YoungYakov being hyper-aggressive here. We'll see how we open up. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? And can he bring it home for Stowny Balls? It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have his teammates also representing Stowny Balls. It is YoungYakov. And he's doing it again. He's doing it again. We do have the drone being sent out across the map. He's going for the proxy hatchery, going for the hatch block. Once again, the goal is to disrupt the opener, and this led into a really quirky build. If you recall, Shameless, his response to the proxy, his response to the hatch block, was to go for the proxy Stargate, but it wasn't worth it. Winding it back, if you recall, Shameless had a very rough start, and it made sense that he went for the all-in, because Shameless lost his first Oracle, and the second Oracle barely got any damage done before losing the Stargate. It was a really, really shaky start. That is a risk you take if you do go proxy Stargate. I would say it wasn't quite worth it. Was not worth it last game. So we'll keep an eye on this probe. We'll see if Shameless commits into another Stargate. Otherwise, he's aware of the hatchery. And he's going for the 2-gate response. This I do like. If you recall, I did bring this up last game, how this is my preferred reaction to the hatch block, is going for a 2-gate opener into a Cybercore, into double Zealot, into double Adept. It's a secure way to shut this down and to counterattack as well. And it does so without pulling any workers, right? It means that you have proper 1-base saturation throughout all of this. Yakov forced to expand elsewhere. Force to take the unnatural natural. Probe, it does confirm the earlier timing of the spawning pool and the hatchery. Queen is on the way. The goal with this queen is to spread creep. Shouldn't get to that point, but we'll see. As there are the two zealots. And it looks like YoungYakov is all in. Lingers are amassing on both sides. So Yakov is making use of this larva, of course. Hatchery should go down. Can the queen pop, though? Up, it can, just barely. Yeah, queen does pop out. Can we get a tumor? Up! He's being sneaky. Yeah, tumor gets thrown down. Zealots are trying to move in. Can we get on top of the tumor in time? Barely not. The dead moves in as well. Going for the queen. Yeah, tumor does burrow. Massive moment here for YoungYakov. Gets a tumor. There's your detection, and this might just be too much. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The queen goes down. This is going to be cleaned up here, but the pylon falls. Yeah, that should not have happened. The pylon barely goes down. Depowers everything. And there's a very chaotic defense here for Shameless. Very chaotic. The hatchery does fall, but again, the tumor did finish. We're spreading creep. Oracle's back at home. There's going to be that revelation. As link speed is revealed. Behind this, Yakov is droning. His droning is saturating. As it settles, Yakov's worker count is still quite low. So it's a pretty low drone count. Shameless will re-expand. And we'll see what the Oracle can get done. Currently, there are no queens in the main. There's one queen at the natural. So drones will fall. Getting 1, 2, 3. Can we get up to 4? Ooh, 4 drone kills. 5? No, shot! We're being a little bit greedy. Yeah, we're being greedy here. That was very greedy of Shameless. Does sustain a lot of hull damage. Sniping 4 drones. Not bad. At least the Oracle does survive. As Shameless even double expanding, getting his own natural and his third base. So double expanding from Shameless. Going for a Robo follow-up. Very interesting. This should be Robo into, I would imagine, Bay into early Colossus production. I would imagine. As he's just rotating in between the bases, checking for gases, checking for any fast lair. There's no tech, right? There's no tech. There's not really much going on here for YoungYakov. He's just now joining up. I do prefer Shameless's position. As Shameless, he has tech on his side, and soon to be economy as well. The Oracle's going for a drive-by, getting another 4 drone kills. Up! Oh my god, as the Oracle does fight too close to the sun. Does overextend. Losing 1. Meanwhile, 6-minute lair timing, very late lair. I mean, all the timings are thrown off just because of the awkward early game. It's been very awkward. As I mentioned, Robo into the bay. So Colossal production on the horizon here for Shameless. Things that do hit the third. Okay, nice counter damage. Getting 1, 2, 3. No battery. Yeah, battery is late. Getting us up 5 probes. Very nice damage here by YoungYakov. Yakov. At the same time, it does take it across the map. They get 1 drone so far. 2, 3. Up. 4. 5. Not quite 5. There's 4 drone kills, not bad counter damage here, especially considering what was sustained across the map. Shameless is holding his own. Second robo, double Colossus production. That's going to be a lot of lasers, a lot of Colossi. Now, what's scary here is that YoungYakov, I believe, is unaware. Yakov, he did see the robo. Okay, so he has an idea. He has an idea. Seeing the robo should scream Colossus. Behind this, though, it's going to be Roaches in the mid-game. Should be Roaches until eventually Roach Hydra. You could argue there's potential for Muta play here because there's no blink. Yeah, he's going for it. Going for the Spire, going for Mutas. Like, again, there is potential. I can see the logic behind this against a robo opener, but because of the lack of economy here, it's hitting so late. That's what, like, an aim in a Spire. And it also means that despite it not being a Twilight Council opener, Blink will be done. Blink is going to be done in time. So Shameless will have some anti-air. It's still on the Oracles of Scouts. Observer goes... No shot. Observer goes in. Doesn't quite get eyes behind the base. And he should realize something is wrong, right? What does he see? He sees gas. He sees a Roach Warren. He sees no Evo Chamber. This screams either a hidden Hydrogen or a hidden Spire or a hidden Infestation Pit. Shameless needs to dive, and he should. Yep, he goes in. Revelation, he sees a Spire. Big scat hit for Shameless. As you mentioned, the lack of information screams Spire. Or at least screams something.
Research is finished.
Is that Stedman? Okay. Este Shameless. So he's fully aware Phoenix production has begun. We have Corruptors on the way as a reaction to this. Now, YoungYakov, he knows he's been scouted, so he's opening up Corruptor instead. This is very hard of the Swarm. If you remember, going like Roach, Hydra, Corruptor was a thing back when Colossus was like the dominant force of splash damage in PvZ. But again, this would have been like, what, back in like 2014, 2015? It was over 10 years ago. That was over 10 years ago, man. That's crazy. But yeah, Corruptors, they used to be a thing against Protoss back when Colossus were a lot more common. Pre-Legacy. Yakov, he wasn't even born by then. He was like, oh no. It was baby Yakov at the time. As Corruptors A zone away. They're revealed, of course. Corruptors are revealed. Again, he had bearing in mind that the intention wasn't to go Corruptor, but he had to because he got scattered. So there was a high chance that there were going to be Phoenixes. So he had to do something with his tech. And we've ended up in a really awkward kind of game state here where we have Ling Bane, Roach, Corruptor against a robo-heavy army with Storm. Like, I don't really have much faith in what Yakov has kind of found himself in. It's like an amalgamation of like a Frankenstein army, and it has some potential for sure. Pre-Storm. That's what I'm concerned about. Like, that Storm timing is going to be brutal. But he's pushing pre-Storm. Can the Banelings collapse in? Can he connect? Yeah, he's going for the dive. Station Trap goes up. There's one, there's two. Bailey up with the Station Traps, they just keep on going. Yeah, Bailey's crashing into the Archon so far. Nice defense, but the Colossus are going down one after the other. The Corruptors, they go to town. They get all three Colossus. They take down all three. Going for the expansion, and YoungYakov, he's doing it. He's breaking this expansion. Yeah, breaks the base. GG gets called, and YoungYakov with Ling Bane Roach Corruptor. He breaks the fourth, and he does advance on into the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we got some really nice kiting, really nice stasis traps out of Shameless. I should have had more faith in the Corruptors, Fappy. They just went to town on those Colossus, and as I mentioned, it was crucial that did hit pre-Storm, right? Storm was on the horizon. Storm wasn't ready yet. Was not ready yet. GG, well played. YoungYakov able to break on through and does claim the series. Whew. Hi. GG, well played. Yakov, he does overwhelm. He does claim the series, does advance on into the semi-finals, and my condolences to Shameless. Again, this could have gone either way. In my mind, it could have gone either way between Shameless and YoungYakov. Two very strong and very close players in skill, In the end, Yakov does advance on, and now we have our semi-finalists here. Okay, we have Creator. Creator, he is in the lower brackets, waiting for the winner of Percival and Geralt. Meanwhile, scrolling on up, we do have Yakov, likewise, waiting for the winner of Classic and Art. We are waiting.